Hello and welcome to Complete Tarot. Today we're looking into the Celtic Cross. And I wanted to mention a couple things before we start this. I wanted to say that most of the time people will come to you for a reading, if you're a professional anyway, because they have an issue that's out of their control and they have no answers for it. So they come to you looking for answers. So ultimately what we're trying to do with a reading is have this person leave our table with some definite direction that will give them the ability to achieve what they're trying to achieve, or at least give them the best opportunity to achieve what they're trying to achieve, to reach an objective that they're trying to attain. And this is why they come to you. So over the years I've broken this spread out into ways that I felt were most effective, and it works very well. I've been doing it this way for about 20 years now, and it works out really well. You would look at my cross here, you might see that if you have other sources of the Celtic Cross, you might see it laid out in the same position order that I have here, or you might have it laid out differently. The cross itself, 1 through 6, might be laid out in a different order on your other source that you have. It makes no difference. It really doesn't. Whatever works best for you is fine. What's really important is that you consistently have the meanings of the positions there that are consistently being the same, so that you get used to them being there. So we're going to go over those positions meanings now and how I do the cross. But one thing I wanted to mention here is the pillar, or numbers 7 through 10, which is called the pillar. Obviously they're not part of the cross, and you might wonder what that's all about. 7 through 10 represent the pillar that the cross rests on actual Celtic Cross monuments that you'll see in cemeteries, and that's what that is. It's put off to the right in a reading for better clarity and space on your table, and that's basically why it's there, positioned the way it is. So if you ever wonder what that was 7 through 10 was doing over there, that's what it's doing there, and that's why it's off to the side, so it's just easier to use. So that's called the pillar. You'll all see the way I do a cross here is a little different. If you'll see movies of me doing this spread from time to time, and I lay it out a little differently than what's shown on the on most diagrams. I have mine a little bit more compact, and number 1 and 2 positions I don't cross over each other either. I like to keep them where I can see them both, so I fan them out like you're seeing in this diagram. And I also take the pillar 7 through 10 and I tilt them or slant them over a little bit, because this gives me more space top to bottom. And if you're doing fairs and house parties and things like this, lots of times space is a big commodity on your table, and you just find yourself looking for more space all the time, so you end up doing something like this, and it's fine. This has worked out really well for me, and you can really get it really nice and tight that way. So that's the way I lay it out, and you might like it too. So the way I do a cross, I look into 4 aspects of your question, and those are what, why, how, and when. What is the real question? Why do you want this in your life? How are we going to attain it? And when do you act on it? If you could answer these 4 questions consistently and accurately to every question you were ever asked, you would be a very wealthy person. But if you could find one aspect here that could be changed for the seeker that came to you, that'll help them achieve what they're trying to achieve, it could be just one thing that needs to be changed. That's all they need to change. We're to look at all 4. Maybe you'll find more than one, but these are very helpful sources or elements of a question that could be looked into that really makes some difference. So what, why, how, and when. And I break the cross out in a little bit different than what you'll see most people do to achieve this. First, looking into what is the real question here. So numbers 1 and 2 are positioned together because they usually represent, in most Celtic Cross instruction manuals and places where you'll see the cross explained, 1 and 2 usually represent the question itself in some way. Now this could be a duality of the question, where there's negative and positive of the question, or it could just be the two cards working together in some way to form a look at the question itself. Number 7 position is the client's viewpoint of the question, how the client sees their own question. Lots of times people will be illusioned about what they're looking into. Is this question realistic? Is it feasible? Is the client seeing a positive thing in a negative way? Or is the client seeing a negative thing in a positive way? So if these cards match up with each other, 1, 2, and 7, in some way that makes sense, then things look good. But if they don't, it allows us to question the client's perception of their own question. So looking at these 3 cards together gives us an opportunity to see what really is the question and what the client is really trying to achieve. And are they seeing things correctly? Next, we look into why. Why do they want this in their life? And here we have numbers 3, 4, and 9 positions. Number 3 position is efforts being made right now by the client to achieve what they're trying to achieve. Number 4 position is the short-term goal that they're trying to achieve. So they're making efforts right now from number 3 to achieve number 4. But ultimately what they're trying to achieve in the big picture is number 9, the purpose. So 3 and 4 they might be doing things all wrong here to achieve the big picture of number 9. They might be going through efforts that really are not going to get them anywhere. Maybe the goal that they're looking for really isn't a way to achieve number 9. This allows us to line this up well and see that they're on the right track with things, and the efforts they're making are really going in the right direction for them. So efforts being made, number 3, what they're trying to achieve, number 4, and ultimately what they're trying to achieve, the purpose, in number 9. Questioning these, going over them with the client can be very helpful. Here we go into how. How are they going to achieve this objective? And here we have positions 5, 6, and 10. 5 is an asset that the client has going for them, something that they have in their favor. This could be something, an outside influence like a family member, a lover, or maybe it's an attribute that the client has themselves. But it's something we have to find about the client that they need to be reminded of, that they have this in their corner. And number 6 is an opportunity that they have coming in the near future. Now, depending on how far in the future would depend on the question itself. If we're talking to a college student who's going to be taking a test tomorrow, then obviously this opportunity is happening very quickly. If we're talking to somebody who's going for a job promotion or is hoping for a job promotion coming in the near future, this opportunity could be a golf outing, a company golf outing, or a company picnic, or maybe the evaluation that they're going to be having on themselves at an annual evaluation that they're having. It depends on the type of question it is, and the type of predicament it is will depend on how far in the future we're talking about. But it is an opportunity. We all have opportunities, so seeing an opportunity coming for the client is where number 6 comes in. Something coming in the future that they could take hold of and will help them. Number 10 is a prediction. Keeping in mind their assets, keeping in mind the opportunity that they're going to have to try to change things in their favor will help make the prediction. If you have a negative card in number 10 position, it's a warning of you're probably going to have some obstruction here, but you could take it on and get by it. So this is something to keep an eye out for, so there's no surprises. Be ready for it. If it's a positive card, all the better. It just shows that if you move along with your opportunity, taking advantage of things there with your assets and your opportunities to come, you should do fine. So it's a prediction. Lastly, we come into when, the timing of the issue. Is it time to act or is it time to wait? Timing can be important, and here we just have one card. Sometimes if we act now, we can take advantages of opportunities that are there before they disappear. And sometimes it's better to have patience and wait for a better time to come, which will give us a better advantage at things. So do we act now or do we wait? When? So, what, why, how, and when? Those four aspects can change a lot. Having your client walk away from your table with some definite direction, some good advice, and hopefully a successful outcome on the objective they're trying to achieve. So I hope you like this. If you have any questions, contact me anytime, and keep throwing cards. Bye.